Hi, my name is Father Mike Duckowitz, and I am the director of the Addiction Recovery Ministry. Over these past several weeks, we have been looking at the 12 steps of recovery, and today we're going to look a little bit at step 5. Step 5 says, admit it to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. The one thing the 12-step recovery has taught me is that we cannot live alone with our pressing problems. We cannot live alone with our character defects, our brokenness, and sin. Step 4 has taught that it's wrong thinking and wrong actions that have caused us to hurt others and to hurt ourselves. So we need to be alone for a few moments. We need to be with ourselves in honesty, which is what step 4 was all about. Finding that quiet and stillness that allows us to journey within. And having looked at ourselves in step 4, having looked at ourselves really honestly, looking at ourselves, seeing, owning, and naming our brokenness, claiming our truth, bearing ourselves before God. That was what step 4 was all about. Unfortunately, what we tend to do is we show God what we want God to see. We show God our good side. Somehow we think that we can hide. We can hide our underside from God. How foolish that is. God knows us. God loves us as we are. God created us just as we are. And after being able to see and own our own truth, now we can come to God just as we are, knowing that we are loved unconditionally. We can come to God in real humility, which means knowing what and who we are and attempting to become what we can be. Realizing no sin, no defect can be corrected if first it is known, claimed, and owned. Only honesty can bring forth conversion. And God, who knows us and loves us, invites us to continue that journey to honesty, to humility, to recovery. Now, we encounter God in other people. We are social creatures. Isolation can be lethal. And those who suffer from some addiction are plagued with isolation. They have a feeling of never fitting in, of never being quite good enough, of always being different. That otherness, that isolation, that is the hole in the soul of every addict. And the drink, the drug, fills the hole for a while until it only expands the size of the hole. So we are challenged to take another journey, a journey into who we are by making ourselves accountable to another for who we are. And this accountability feeds our honesty, our humility, and the fact that we share our own brokenness, our own fears with another, helps us to begin to understand what intimacy is all about. Intimacy is about allowing ourselves to be known by another. First, we have to know ourselves, and then share that knowledge with another that allows us to begin to grow in intimacy. And to be known by another is then a joy and a relief. The addict has not known that kind of honesty, Because until he does this step, he doesn't know himself. He or she has played so many different roles in an attempt to fit in, an attempt to fool others, that he or she has lost any knowledge of who they are. So the journey within allows the sufferer to discover who they are, to share who they are, and to become what God has called them to be. So that now we can move. We can move away from ourselves. And we begin to look at the second half of these 12 steps as a call to service. These first steps, these first 5 steps, we have done the journey within to come to know who we are and to bring ourselves to God. Now we begin the journey without, to take what we have discovered and to give ourselves in service to others. Before I conclude, I want to share with you what it's like to hear a 5th step. I've heard several 5th steps. For me, it's not just a privilege and an honor, it's overwhelming. It's humbling to hear somebody for the first time share with you their discovery of themselves. It's truly a blessing. Each 5th step I hear teaches me more about myself, gives me more humility, more empathy, and more gratitude. In each 5th step I have heard, I know that I have encountered God in that person sharing in that 5th step. Always aware of God's abundant mercy, God's awesome charity, God's unconditional love. Next week, we begin step 6, and we begin that journey into service. So let's once again conclude with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Goodbye. God bless.